Welcome to another day with Jesus. The power is where it's always been. The Word of God is alive. You are listening to challenging devotions and heart-inspiring conversations with Pastor Priji and Rajmi Varghese. Visit www.pastorpriji.com for more resources.
Hey friends, greetings to all of you in Jesus' precious name, and I'm so glad we get to connect with each other every day. If you've not yet subscribed to this podcast, you can actually do that on this page itself. There's a way you can subscribe to it on Android phones and on iPhones. We would even send you an email if you would like it that way. Let us know and we can send it by emails to you. I want to thank all my dear friends who've been actively sharing these podcasts in their church or youth WhatsApp groups, and I've been hearing back from so many people of how much it's been a blessing, and I'm glad about that. I'm happy to know that it's going. It's happening to be a blessing to you, and I'm excited. And one of the things that one of the leaders in my church told me last week was, it's better that I stick to a series of teachings that I can take in 5 different parts from Monday to Friday, and I'm excited to do that. And this week we are going to be studying on the essentials of intimacy. You know, God has not called us for a superficial relationship. God has called us for a relationship which is deep, which is real, which is intimate. You know, I know that you would wonder what kind of marriage it is if there is no intimacy. Now, intimacy is not just, saying hi, hello. It's not just, serving food for each other. Or intimacy is a place where you know the person completely and the person knows you completely, right? And that's necessary in our relationship with God. What we don't understand is that, to get into a relationship with Jesus, you've got to do nothing. All you have to say is a yes to what Jesus has done on the cross. But to be intimate with Him, there's a price you've got to pay. There's a distance that you got to travel, and there's so many things that you have to change about you or do about you to enjoy that intimate walk with God. Let me start with the first thing that you need to do to be intimate, to be intentional about being intimate with God. It's the fact that you have to actively pursue His presence. You have to be an active person who is constantly running after His presence, constantly running after His things, constantly running after His heart, constantly running after His desires. It says in Leviticus chapter 24 verse 3 that this is the lampstand that stands in the tabernacle in front of the inner curtain that shields the ark of the covenant. Now this is what Aaron must do. He must keep the lamps burning in the Lord's presence all night. This is a permanent law for you, and it must be observed from generation to generation. Aaron's duty was to keep the lamps burning in the Lord's presence all night. Now in the mornings there's always light, but in the night as well, it was Aaron's duty to make sure that the lamp doesn't go off. What does it mean? It means that we have to be people who are not pursuing His presence only when we need Him. We have to be people who are intentional about pursuing His presence all through the day and all through the night. Can I have 5 minutes away for myself? Let me run after His presence. Can His presence encounter me in my workplace? Can I pursue His presence even when I am studying? Can I pursue His presence even when I'm in conversation with my friends, and even when I'm with my family? I'm out for dinner, I'm doing ministry, I'm preaching a sermon? Can I pursue His presence even during that time? Can I keep the lamp in the presence alive? My spirit is the lamp. Proverbs says that the spirit that God has put inside you, that's your candle, that's your lamp, that is what burns inside of you. Can you keep that burning 24 hours into 7 days, into 52 weeks, into all the years of your life? Every single moment, can you be actively pursuing His presence? That's something that I have learned very beautifully after marriage. For the last 1 week I've been in Malaysia, and this time I couldn't get a SIM card, and I knew how difficult it was to keep in touch with my wife. And I know that Rashmi doesn't mind the fact that I don't text her every day, but it was such a deep yearning in me that was not satisfied in the last 1 week, because I couldn't reach out to her. I couldn't call her every now and then. I couldn't constantly keep her updated, and I really struggled. Why? Because I love her. If you love Jesus, you have to be constantly in pursuit of His presence. The more you pursue His presence, the more His presence will manifest in your room, friend. The more His presence will manifest in your life, my dear friend. The more His presence will begin to take over your life. The more your life will be less about you and more about Him. The more you understand this principle of actively pursuing His presence, the more intimate you become with Jesus. Thank you for joining today. I'm going to be praying that you will see and experience that this week. God bless you. See you tomorrow.